Hey guys, oh, been a good evening. Been sitting around doing some dishes and then sorting out some cards, just watching some videos, eh, uh, enjoying some of the YouTube community tonight. I was thinking at work today that I was remembering an old set of cards that I had that are not sports cards. So just to say that real quick, I'm going to show some cards that are not sports cards and probably from a set that no one has ever seen. I never get to say that. Probably even Mangini hasn't seen this set. Although I'd be interested to know if any of you have seen sets similar to this. I'll show you one now. Then a little bit later I'll turn the camera and I'll show you kind of a little more up close. But uh, these are police officer cards. Um, and again, I'll show you a little bit closer and kind of show you the backs in a minute. But I wanted to show you so I could tell you the story. So it was 91 or 92 probably. I was living in Illinois in a city called Moline, Illinois. It's part of what's known as the Quad Cities, Moline and Rock Island on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River, and then Davenport and Bettendorf on the Iowa side of the Mississippi. Anyway, that's all useless information. But anyway, I was living in Moline, and the local police force decided, I mean, everybody's collecting cards, right? And so the police force decided that what they would do is they would have some trading cards, essentially, some cards for some of their police officers. Not all of them, but I think 37, 38 or so different ones. And so to try to encourage children to interact with police officers and ask them, hey, do you have any cards? And so we happen to live about 2 blocks, maybe 3 blocks from the police station. And so I'm 10, 11, 12 years old, something like that. And so me and my brother would go and stand outside of the police station. And eventually we learned that if you would stand outside it the times when they changed shifts, you could catch a lot of police officers either coming in or going out. And so we would stop them and ask them if they have a card, and then we would ask them to sign it. So I'll show you some of that. I got some signed. I'm sure that increases the value substantially. But anyway, so they so we did this for weeks, and so shift change, by the way, is like at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we're getting up out of bed, two kids getting up out of bed, walking a few blocks, standing outside of the police station at shift change. And of course, so police officers get to know us a little bit, and we would, accidentally ask some who we'd already gotten from, and it was just kind of a funny thing. So eventually, we had, I think, 3 cards left that we hadn't gotten, and these police officers, just for some reason, we just couldn't find them. And so one day we're standing out there, and a guy comes up and he asks us how we're doing, and if we've got how many we're missing. And so we explained how many we're missing. And so he takes us into the police station and takes us downstairs into his office. And he was the guy who had apparently been the coordinator of all of this. So he has all the cards in his office. And he explained to us that these ones that we were looking for, they weren't there. They had been on leave or something. And so he didn't really go into details there, at least I don't remember. But he picked out those cards. We didn't get them signed, but we did get the cards in order to complete our set. And so I was thinking about this the other day, or I think it was just yesterday or today. I've been thinking about this and thought, I could probably find those cards. I mean, sure enough, I did. I found some along with some missing sports cards. I could show some sports cards, I suppose. I found the entire 1990 Fleer basketball set. I'd kind of forgotten I had that, to be honest with you. And as well as some other things, maybe show at some point. But anyway, I thought I'd show these. It's just kind of fun, a little different. I realize it's not baseball, and so if you are a baseball card only, you can, I guess, just move along with my apologies. But anyway, let me just show you these. This is just fun. I won't take very long. Just to show you just a couple of these, few of these officers, these players, and show you. It's interesting to just kind of seeing the things that they did as they were creating these cards. So anyway, let me show you, and then we'll wrap this up. So I should admit that I'm a little embarrassed that some of these are not in the best of shape, but They weren't with my normal cards. I had stuck them in like this collectible box. But anyway, you don't want to hear any more about that. Here's the chief of police. A nice action shot. Him on his phone. And this is why these, of course, is Dare to Keep Kids Off Drugs. Those of you who are my age, you remember the Dare program. But on the back of the cards, it has safety tips. We've all seen how drug use can destroy lives and families. Don't let it happen to you. And then it says something a little bit about the officer or whoever it is that's pictured on the card. You see his signature, the badge up in the top corner. Officer, City of Moline, Illinois. So that's the chief. This is card number 2. It's Captain Vic. Another wonderful action shot. I guess they just, again, it's all, and the backs, you can see I keep flipping them like they're a baseball card, but they're backwards. They're not the same as if you're used to baseball cards, how you flip them. But they all have different hints. You can see that's to Stephen. Actually gave that to me, so that was pretty cool. I just have a few more. I only pulled this card out because I think this is the guy who, I'm not certain, but I think this is the guy who pulled us down there and actually gave us the cards that we were missing at the time. So just a few more. I'm not going to take much more of your time. This is the Crisis Containment Unit. So a bunch of people with cards. So this would have been one that he must have given us, this one, because this wasn't any particular person's card. Then of course we liked the action shots, you know. Look at that. So funny. Like it just makes me laugh looking at these cards now. I thought that was the coolest thing when I was a kid. You know, here he is sneaking around the building with a gun. I can show you another one of those. This was another good action shot. And remember to keep off drugs. The best you can be is drug-free. That's what it takes. And then, of course, they had to have one officer in the school teaching the kids. I'm sure he was teaching his DARE program in that picture. But anyway, just something fun I was thinking about. I was laughing, so I'm like, well, I can't imagine anybody else collected Moline police officers' cards, but if you did, it'd be fun to hear about it. But actually, just if anybody else had police, I don't know if this was a thing that a lot of cities did at that time, but would love to hear about it if this wasn't just Moline. So anyway, just a short video. Wanted to show these off. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.